since a lot of people have asked, I decided to start doing confessions from a crazy dog groomer. I started grooming in 1988, and for reference, all clippers then were heavy, all of them had cords, and snap-on combs didn't work at all. We had them, they didn't do a darn thing. You used a pair of scissors if you were going longer than a number 4 blade. That's all there was to it. You could have a number 4, number 5, number 7. We had 10s, 15s, we had 30s. We didn't have access to 50s other than through catalogs and, distributors that distribute medical stuff, and nobody dared use a 50 blade. We didn't have anything cordless, nothing like the equipment you have now. We also didn't have any color. Color was not something that the normal groomer did. It was something that you did in creative styling contests only. My dogs wish it would have stayed there. Now, one of them has a purple tail, but I digress. People ask me, what was your favorite breed to groom, your least favorite breed to groom? I have 2 answers for each of those questions. My favorite to groom is poodles, because I love poodles. I raise poodles. I've exhibited poodles. But they actually are my favorite to groom creatively. They were my favorite to do makeovers. If somebody wanted to bring in a dog that hadn't been touched in a year and was just a god-awful mess, I loved being able to bring a poodle out of that mess of walking matted fur. But as far as money-wise, schnauzers are what I called easy money. I could get a schnauzer in medium to bad condition, not horrible, but medium to bad condition, done in 30 minutes. And at that time, like I said, in the 1980s, I charged $25 a piece for them. I could get a lot of them done in 20 minutes a piece. Plus, I could cage dry them 80%. So I had a cage dryer that, I had a lot of people with multiple schnauzers. I had a cage dryer that I could put 4 of them in. I had 4 more cage dryers that had hang-on hose that could go on the front. So literally I could be drying 8 schnauzers while grooming the 9th schnauzer at $25 a pop, and you wouldn't believe how many I could squeeze through the door. And they would all go out looking, not quite show perfect because they weren't hand plucked, but beautiful. Now, as far as what my least favorite were, every Cocker Spaniel that ever walked through my door either peed on my table, peed on me, peed on my floor, peed on my feet, every time. It didn't matter what cocker it was, whether it loved me, whether it hated me, whether it loved groomers or hated groomers. At some point during their visit, they would pee. And a lot of times it would be while I was drying them, and the pee would go everywhere, and it was just awful. Plus, their coats are like daggers. When you shave their backs, and then 6 to 8 weeks later you come in and you shave that pattern again, those hairs that come off are like daggers. I've had to go to the eye doctor and have them plucked out of my eyeballs. I've had to have them plucked out of my skin. I've gone home and taken off my shirt and my underclothes and had to pull them out of places I don't even want to talk about. But they're like daggers, and they get stuck in your skin, and it's awful. Probably my least favorite, other than that, when I was still doing big dogs, Great Pyrenees would be my least favorite, because the ones that I got were ranch dogs, were in a rural community, and they were dogs that would come in once a year, and people would ask me to shave them down. No matter how many times I talked to them about why we do not shave double-coated dogs, they didn't believe me. They wanted them shaved, and tried to get them shaved. We used sheep shears with the big line drives because that was the only thing that would go through them. We found bullets in these dogs with bullet holes that hadn't healed. You'd find like a pellet and a matching wound in the dog that was festering. I found barbed wire in a coat. This was an all day and then some project, and if you tried to charge a farmer or rancher $100 to get a dog done, you were not going to get it. You were going to get everything but that. And so probably I think $75 was the most I ever got out of one of those, and literally 8 to 9 hours worth of work with the equipment that we had. So that's my least favorite. That's my most favorite. And Talia apparently is bored, so we'll be back for more groomer confessions maybe tomorrow.